Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to another toy review, and today we're here to take a look at the Ultra Monster Series number 17, Bemstar. So of course, just to reiterate a couple of things before we move on with the review, yeah, my poor whiteboard got kind of beat up a little bit, so don't mind some of the, yeah. Just thought I'd kind of let you guys know, because I really did try to, not do that. Anyway, but let's move on, right? So it's been a while. So just to reiterate a little bit, of course, this toy line is based off of the Ultraman series. This was a toy line made back in 2013. It was supposed to kind of be part of like Ultraman Ginga's like gimmick of like Spark dolls. They had like this weird gimmick where they would have like this weird little kind of symbol thing, and then you would use the Ultra Ginga DX to, I guess, make noises or something like that. Pretty much like, you can hear like how the creature sounded in the shows and all that, so that was sort of the gimmick behind it. So of course, since these are toys made in Japan, they don't come in any sort of special packaging or anything like that. They just kind of come like that, and of course they all come with a little tag right here, so we see him like really up close, like Gankyu's over there like so of course this is number 17, so just some jargon here, nothing in the inside. So of course, let's go a little bit over who Bemstar is. So Bemstar originally appeared in the third Ultraman series, Return of Ultraman, episode 18, Ultra 7 arrives. So yeah, Ultraman, Return of Ultraman was like, it was originally based off of like it's like a almost a direct continuation of the first series, where Ultraman would have come back years and years later, alongside Hayata, fighting a whole new generation of monsters and all that. Plot was obviously slightly changed. Obviously now instead of Ultraman, it's Ultraman Jack, which obviously at first they were both supposed to be the same, but eventually that kind of changed rather quickly to the point where it's like, okay, they pretty much did establish that this is just a brand new Ultraman fighting against a weird factor of like creatures. A lot of them had like this weird sort of like weather based techniques. I mean, there was one where it could cause hurricanes, one that could cause snowstorms, all that weird stuff. Bemstar, he's pretty basic as hell. I mean, literally within some of the descriptions they said that he's supposed to be like some sort of like space alien, which that I don't really get, because there's a big huge difference between like monsters and aliens within the series, so not exactly sure how that works. Then again, Zedon is supposed to be a alien dinosaur apparently. Not sure if I support that theory, but that's okay. So basically in the episode in question, Ultra 7 kind of arrives and he gives Jack the Ultra bracelet, which is like a weird shape-shifting type thing, and of course Jack pretty much uses it to slice this poor boy into like 3 pieces or so. Listen, I didn't say the show was completely kid-friendly, but you get the idea. He would eventually return in Ultraman Toto, being summoned by, damn, I forgot his name. I believe it was Yapul, yeah. And oh my god, what happened to him? Like, listen, kids, whatever you do, don't do drugs, because this is what it does to you. Like, I don't know what the hell happened to him. Yeah, he's not looking right. I'm just gonna say that right now. Yeah, but what's very odd to note is that we actually wouldn't really see him for a really long time, for the next couple of decades. So he will of course make reappearances here and there. He will return in Ultraman Mebius, which I believe came out in 2006. He would appear in other series like Ultra Galaxy Mega Monster Battle, Ultra Zero Fight, Ultraman Ginga S, Ultraman X, Orb Origins, Ultraman Z, and then of course the last time we saw him was in Ultra Galaxy Fight the Destined Crossroad. So long story short, he's definitely one of those like classic rogues galleries, kaijus that does make a couple of appearances here and there, but not as much like Red King or even Bemstar, or maybe even, Udon and all that. So of course, without further ado, let's take a look at the figure. So of course, like I said, these toys are made up of a somewhat kind of softer material plastic. As you can see, I can squish this poor man, like, my goodness. Like, I don't know if you can really hear it. You probably can, because I probably got music in the background and stuff like that, but literally, like, he sounds like a a squeak toy almost, but it doesn't make like a squeak noise. It's like it sounds like you're pumping air. Obviously, I don't know if it's because there's like a hole somewhere. I know that with some of these figures, you know, because they always come with the tag, I know they got that little piece of plastic that's attached to it. I don't know if that's where the sound is coming from, but not to worry. That's like the least of our problems. But even then, it's a very nice looking figure. I mean, the sculpting and all that captures the character's likeness perfectly, like without a doubt. Now, don't get me wrong. I probably said that a few times in the past. You know, I probably gave these figures a little bit like too much leeway, you know, giving like nothing but positive vibes and all that, but don't worry, there's gonna be a couple of them down the road where they don't really look as nice, but for sure this is definitely one of the more nicer looking ones. I mean, it's just perfect. I know that the only eyesore that this figure kind of has obviously is with the tail, so they kind of sculpted it into the figure, so obviously, yeah, you can't really like move his tail around and all that, which is kind of odd because there are figures within the toy line where you could definitely move the tails and all that. So this is definitely just a design choice at best, which, I mean, depending on who you ask, give or take, some people might not mind it, some people might be a little bummed out by it. I don't know. I mean, I guess it kind of depends. How much of a big fan of Bemstar are you? Because I don't know. I mean, still pretty cool. So let's go a little bit more in depth. Let's take a further look at the details. So of course, as we look a little more further, we go right into his face. There's actually some small details that I would like to kind of mention real quick. You can't really notice it. You can only really notice it if you shine his eye like into the, you know, into the light. You'll notice that he actually does have a little bit of a pupil. It's not painted though, it's obviously painted black like the rest of, you know, his eye and all that. I just thought I kind of mentioned that because I've owned this figure for so many years and it's like, how the hell did I not notice that? I mean, my goodness. Honestly, the fact that he's supposed to be a giant bird is ironic because this man literally looks like a penguin. I mean, he definitely has the build of one for sure, let's be honest here, but he does look rather nice. I love the detailing within like the fur and all that. You can see like that nice sort of very bright brown. It's almost like a wood type brown, but like very, very light. I can't really tell if it's supposed to be like how they sprayed it on or so. I'm not exactly sure how they paint these, but the detailings do like the brown and all that, and even like his chest center too. It's so weird. Doesn't particularly look right, but I'm not going to say what it looks like to me. I mean, guys, if you've seen Ultraman Toto, oh, my goodness, let's just say that was really uncomfortable and that has to be really painful. But then again, let's take a look at him at the side. Seems a little bit of a skinny boy, but I'm just gonna assume that that's just how he is. Most figures, you know, they always capture the likeness of how they are, so at least they don't really mess up on that end. So of course, what I mean by that is, I'll grab you down for a second. You can see how, you know, definitely got like the depth within, you know, his side or so. You know, it's not like they just kind of squished them or anything like that. Like I said, these figures don't come in packages. They just literally come like that, just hanged. And you know, and these are toys specifically sold in Japan. Unless you go to one of those stores like Toy Tokyo in New York City, you're definitely bound to find a whole bunch of them. I even did a video and all that, but I wasn't filming myself in the store. I just filmed like the aftermath because obviously, you know, it was just one of those things where I couldn't really film in a big public place like that. So a little bit more, I want to talk about the texture of his skin. Don't mind my band-aid, I'm sorry. I know he falls over a lot, but trust me, he's very flat-footed, which is a good thing. That's a huge plus. Now you'll notice how he got that rough, like rockiness within his skin texture. I mean, it's very bumpy. You know, you could kind of feel it and all that, and it feels nice. It feels pretty good. You know, and it's pretty much all over his body. Now I can't tell if that's like a design choice at best, or if it was just because of the materials that they made for the suit while filming. It's hard to really say because these toys are so much fun. They like to kind of nitpick weird stuff like that here and there. Like if you guys ever saw my old video of my old review of Kennigan, you'll know that literally his mouth is like a freaking zipper. So that's kind of hilarious. Just to kind of give a little bit of a good idea to kind of show off the bumpiness of the skin, I'm gonna surprise you guys real quick, right? So, for any of you, my fellow Americans who collect Marvel Legends, here I'm going to compare him really quick to my 2008 or 2007, I'm not really too sure, Thing figure. Very old figure. I got him, was it last year? Whatever, I don't know. But just to kind of give you an idea, like look at the texturing of his skin. You can see like the roughness and all that, and you could kind of compare it to this one, where you can see what they were going for. But obviously this one is, it's not like in depth, it's not like super deep within each of the cracks and crevices. You know, I just thought I'd just kind of show it off, just for shits and giggles. I mean, why not, you know? Also, yes, I will review this figure somewhere in the future. To kind of do maybe a little better comparison, I do have the updated 2020 version. I think this came out in 2020, don't quote me on that. So yeah, Rocky Brothers, Brick Brothers, whatever you want to call it. I'm such an idiot, I'm sorry. We're clearly talking about two different franchises here, but just to kind of give you an idea as to how he is, because the detailing on this is, you know, it's great, you know, for a vinyl figure. I mean, I can't forget about the face, dude. Don't get me wrong. Even in the face, you can see like how the bumpiness, it just kind of stops. You know, his face is actually somewhat smooth, as you could kind of see within the linings a little bit. I'm just gonna try and do a little bit of a focus here. So yeah, you know, I do love it. You know, the greens, you know, like the very deep greens and the very bright brown complement each other very well, especially around like in this area or so. I'm not even sure what this is supposed to be, if I'm being honest with you. Like, literally, I watched this show so many times, and it's like, I can never really understand what the hell the point of this is, except it just has to be some kind of weakness. Even though he literally gets chopped up into pieces, and then when he comes back in Ultraman Total, it's like, I don't remember if that's just another one of him, or if that's like a zombie version of him, but whatever. We're not reviewing the show, we're just reviewing a freaking action figure. Then of course we show at the bottom here, that's where they used to put like that weird DX feature. Obviously, as you can see, that feature it's no longer a thing. I apologize. I'm gonna have to just try and focus a little bit on his feet right now. I know that sounds kind of weird. And also these weird little white spots. I don't remember if that was part of the figure or not. I'm gonna assume yes, because I've owned this toy for such a long time. I even noticed the weird furry detailing over here. Now I feel weird pointing that out. Anyway, okay, so he can't do the disco, but you get you get the idea. He can't spin. So anyway, back to the feet thing. So as you can see, he's very flat-footed, so he doesn't have any issues standing or anything. You can also see that it says 2013. It looks like 2018 when I first saw it. I know that these figures, they do get reissues from time to time, but for the most part, I trust me, I look back at it, it definitely says 2013 on it. This just so happened to be a reissue where they just completely removed that whole little tag thing. I don't know if that's like a tag or a sticker or so. The only way I could best explain it is that any figures that come like this, they're very standard. You know, they don't come with anything else. But if they come with like those weird looking tags where they're kind of like in a weird oval or pill shape, those are the ones that definitely has the features for sure. But then again, those are very, very hard to go by. And if you order them online, you don't really know which one you're going to get. You're not exactly going to really see it with the tag. You're only going to see it with the promotional picture, if you know what I mean. So, let's talk about the paint. Well, the only thing I want to say for sure that definitely brings out the figure, it's not only this, but even like his tiny little like freaking fang nail thing. It's such a bright yellow. It literally stands out, but you know what? I'm not mad. I actually like it a lot. I also do like the little pointy thingy. Like, what the hell is this guy? Is he a penguin? Is he a bird? Is he a unicorn? Like, what the hell is he supposed to be? Unfortunately, because he's been a victim of falling off my shelf a lot, you really, really can't tell very well. Nah, honestly, you don't even see it. But I swear, trust me, there's a tiny little dot right there showing off from the smear of the paint, so you gotta watch out for that. So unfortunately, you can't escape from that fate. Got the little pecker, you got the little beak, which is it's not painted all the way. In fact, his teeth isn't even painted, but you know what, I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see it, because I'm gonna be honest, when you see this man's face, do you see his teeth at all? No, so I'm not complaining. So little fang, other fang. So yeah, I guess that's it when it comes to going over how the figure looks. So let's go over the non-existent articulation. Well, I'm sorry to say, articulation on this dude, very basic. only has 2 points of articulation. He can move at the arms, which I don't really recommend doing that. You can already just see the roughness of that. So you could honestly, I don't recommend spinning it full 360. I'm just gonna say that right now. I know it looks like his head can move, and I'm pretty sure it does. I can kind of feel it when you move, when you move it along and stuff. But if I'm being honest, it's not really working. So that's why I don't really consider it, an articulation piece, even though it probably should be. But no, I mean, he's very, very simple at best. So I don't think you're really gonna want to get the that whole sort of articulation aspect of it. You don't really expect that from a toy line like this. So for this case, it's not a huge deal. I mean, then again, we've reviewed plenty of figures where they only move at least around 2 points or so, so that's not even a big deal. So of course, to kind of end this toy review, let's take a look at a couple of old figures that we've already went over. We got, of course, Gyudon, like I've showed off a little earlier before, just to kind of show off how he looked a little bit on the side, just to kind of give you an idea on the, sort of sizing on these, because the way that they're proportioned is slightly inaccurate. And then of course we got Bemstar, which is a classic, the first kaiju that Ultraman ever fought. Same situation. Apparently, like, he's actually supposed to be like an alien creature, even though he looks more like a prehistoric being, but you get the idea. And then of course you got, twin tails. This is, obviously very, very, very unique design. And then of course, why not add in, I guess, Gankyu, because he was literally in Bemstar's tag. So yeah, why not, I guess. I did not review this figure yet, but I definitely will. So just for now, let me just kind of sideline him. And then of course, he's not the only bird that we've taken a look at. We've actually taken a look at this freaking long whatever. Honestly, you know what the sad part is? I forgot this thing's name. I think it was like Gurion or something like that. No, he had like one of those very weird, long, complicated names. Not even hard to pronounce, just really long. So yeah, we'll just call him Long Bird Thing or something. And now that I think about it, the colors of how they look, they're actually very similar. I do wonder how that works, within the department of making this, because the colors are actually surprisingly accurate, except for the gold. Obviously, this one has like a sort of gold thing going on. Not like him. He doesn't really have any gold at all. Just very, very like basic colors, but obviously definitely got some, sort of airbrush possibility going on here. And then, this one's pretty simple. This one tries to be, a little more complicated. So of course, we gotta bring out the hero. So let's take a look at Ultraman, and yeah, that's not great. he's kind of small, but at least he got all the detailing going on. So you know what? It's okay. It all's forgiven. For now, though, trust me, it's gonna get way worse. And then you got Jack. And then, of course, like I said, that's the Ultra bracelet that he used to chop this man into pieces. Ultra 7. And do I got... yeah. Do I got Zafi here? I could have sworn I just got him around here somewhere, just to do this one last little comparison. Yeah, there we go. So we got Zafi. We got the whole crew going on around here against this giant thing. Yeah, all right. So I guess the next figure that we're gonna take a look at, I'm pretty sure this is the next figure, if I remember correctly. Oops. Okay, so let me push this guy to the side just a little bit. Don't worry about that. So Black King, I think I'm pretty sure he should be the next one we're gonna review. So definitely get that underway. So of course, yeah, that's about it, really. So of course, final thoughts. My ranking of this figure, well, don't kill me, I'm just gonna say it. It's a good 10 out of 10 for me, at least. I know that the sizing is a bit off, but it definitely looks very accurate to how he is. And, it's good that a lot of these figures keep up with that, consistency. Yeah, yeah, consistency, right? Don't get me wrong, they're not always gonna be like that. I can't wait to go over like the future figures and stuff. It's gonna get more nuttier from here. This is only the very beginning. I mean, he's freaking number 17, for crying out loud. So yeah, that's about it, really. It's good to be back doing these. I know it's kind of been a while, a long time actually, but of course we're back up and running. Like I said, I'm pretty sure Black King is the next figure to be reviewed. I just gotta double check to make sure, because obviously I don't got all the figures based off of this version of Ultraman, so give or take, you know. But either way, I'm happy to be back. Hope you guys kind of enjoyed the review right here, and yeah, that's about it. See you next time.